Hi, and welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. Yeah, I am your host, Eric Knowles, and you already know the deal. I'm excited. I'm excited about growing and helping black businesses, brown businesses, and women-owned businesses grow. And today, I'm truly excited about this young man that's here. He's doing some things that are truly exciting, things that we hear about. Some of you have had to deal with these issues. Mr. Reginald Andre, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Great having you here. You've been a member of the Chamber for quite a while. We see you on our Tuesday Zooms, absorbing and sharing. And today, you come to talk about what it is that you do, cybersecurity, ARK. Give the name of the company again?
Yeah, ARK Solvers.
ARK Solvers.
Yes.
And let's tell folks a little bit about Andre before we get into ARK Solvers.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a product of Miami Gardens. I was pretty much, I wasn't born here, but I've been living here since I've been 3 years old.
Okay.
Went to Turner Tech.
Okay.
And from Turner Tech, I started to just dabble into technology.
Okay.
And that's how I, started to then see like, wow, this is a career that I can start in.
Okay. And ARK Solvers, how long have you been in business?
So I've been in business for 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but funny, interesting story of how I got started. Do you remember the store CompUSA?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I used to work at CompUSA, the one in Miami Gardens, and someone came in one day, and he brought about $35,000 worth of equipment.
Oh, wow.
And at the end of the sale, he was like, I have no idea how to set this up. Can you come to my home?
Okay.
Yeah, so first of all, I couldn't believe that he brought that much stuff for his home. I thought it was for his business. And at the time, CompUSA, which is like a Best Buy, they didn't have like a geek squad.
Right.
So he gives me his address, and it said Miami South Beach.
Okay.
And I had never been exposed to South Beach,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
right.
So for the first time, I remember driving on the MacArthur Causeway and seeing the yachts.
Really? So you one of those folks who lived in Miami but hadn't been to South Beach?
I was 20 years old. I had never been to South Beach.
Wow.
And for the first time, I'm seeing the palm trees and the cruise ships and everything you see on TV about Miami Beach. And he's on the 17th floor overlooking the entire marina.
Oh, wow. And, so that must have been in itself an experience.
Yes. And I set up everything for him, and one of his buddies comes over and says, wow, who set this up for you? He's like, Andre did. And he's like, I want the same thing at my house.
Well, wait a minute. I think I need you to come to my house.
There you go, right?
And I'm sure you're going to have other folks coming to, you going to other folks' house. No, I'm serious. I'm cutting you off because I actually bought a sound bar last year. I increased my TV from a 70 to an 85 or whatever. But I had a system connected to it, and then I bought this sound bar that's supposed to be better. But what I want to do is connect the two of them.
Yes.
So I think I need an amplifier.
Yep, I was going to say that. Yep,
I need an amplifier to connect those two, and then so you need to come by the house.
Yeah.
But go ahead, finish telling the story.
Yeah, absolutely. So from there, for a period of 6 months, the guy that I met at the electronics store sending me all of his friends. And one day he calls me, he's like, Andre, all my friends are ecstatic about you. You're a hard worker, you're diligent, because he had sent me about 10 of his friends in a 6-month period. He says, I didn't tell you this, but I'm a retired 41-year-old multimillionaire, and I want to start a business with you.
Wow.
Whatever you're making at that electronics store, I'm going to double it. And at the time I was going to school to become an English teacher, and he said, stop, slow down on school, and let's start a business together.
Wow.
So I call my mom, I tell her the whole story.
I never knew this story all these years. I never knew this story.
Yes, and I tell my mom, and she's like, this is why I left Haiti to come to America, for you to have that American dream. Go and start the business with him. And that's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah, so everything is great. We had about 9 employees. We're doing over $1 million in sales. We're the kings of South Beach. Everybody knows us. And, one day I go to my boss. I'm like, hey, look, my business card says managing partner. My email address says vice president. But there's nothing in writing that actually says we're business partners.
Oh, wow.
Storyline continues. So he says, you know what? Give me a couple of months and I'll go ahead and get the attorney, draft up something. A couple of months later, comes in. He calls me to his office, and he says, "I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to let you go."
Wow.
I worked 9 years, 18-hour days, 7 days a week, building the business when I thought I was a partner. And he lets me go because
he didn't want to give up.
He didn't want to give up ownership. He didn't want to give up anything. And I can remember being in my garage thinking, what am I going to do? I had a 2-year-old son at the time, and this is now '09. So this is rock and roll days, right before the mortgage crash. So as fast as you were making the money, is as fast as it was going out. So I had about $100 to my name. He didn't even give me my last check.
Wow.
So, and I remember the quote from the movie Rocky that says, "It's not how hard you get hit, it's how you get back up."
Yeah, exactly.
And I said, you know what? All right. I had a crazy non-compete. So I left the South Beach area, came back to my roots. I went to Kinko's. I printed out some papers, and I just started knocking on business doors. And from there, now, fast forward 15 years later, we have ARK Solvers. We've been voted the fastest growing cybersecurity and IT company 3 years in a row. We over $1 million in sales, 8 employees, and we're rocking and rolling.
Well, you know, who, as they say, who God bless, no man curse.
Yes, amen.
So, you know, I guess, you know, that was 9 years of education.
Yes.
You know, that was a doctorate degree 10 times over, because obviously you learned how to do what it is that you do now. You learned how to run a business. You learned how, I guess, to manage people.
Right.
So when it was time for you to move on, you know, and as they say, God pushes you out the door so that you can open other doors. And so when you went through that process of, wow, you knew what to do.
Yes.
It wasn't, even though you said, well, what do I do now? You knew what to do.
Knew exactly what to do.
You knew who you need. Like you said, you got 8 employees. You knew the type of employees you needed. You knew the system that you needed to build your own business. And I guess, as they say, it's a blessing in disguise, but at the same time, can we put a APB out on this person?
No. You know, funny enough, we end up reconciling.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgave him, and I even helped him later on in you know, about 10 years later. He needed some help with his IT because he was an IT guy.
Right.
He was a money man.
Right.
And he had a scenario.
So he probably went out and hired somebody else.
They messed up, and then he called me. He became the CEO of a public company.
Okay.
And his emails got deleted. And one night he texted me, and he's like, "Hey, this is first time in about 10 years." And he texts me like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but to bother you, but I have this situation." And I says, "I'd rather not help you, but if it's an emergency, I will."
Okay. Did you charge him?
No, I didn't. No.
You should have charged him, man. Come on. You should at least charged him for that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I get it, taking the high road.
Right.
I can appreciate that because I'm one that takes the high road. On many occasions, I have taken the high road and probably shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, you know, you sleep well. And, you know, it is what it is. And it didn't impede you from moving on and coming to the point where you are today. So, yeah, okay. You helped them out, and now you have a relationship, as what I'm hearing. But we're going to continue this story. We're going to take a little break. We're going to hear from one of our supporters, and we're going to get back to Mr. Reginald Andre.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
Welcome back. And, you know, this has been a great, interesting story with Reginald, how he started out many years ago, because now he's been running his business 15 years, and he was actually thought he was a partner with someone for basically 10 years prior to that, so 25 years.
Yeah.
And here we are today. As you said, you are the fastest growing cybersecurity company, and that's a whole nother thing versus going into someone's home and
Right.
setting up the sound system. How did you transition from tech and doing that going into cybersecurity?
Yeah, so I've had some of my customers for a long time, and what we started to see was a trend of viruses happening. And back then, you would get a virus, you would, Windows 7, Windows XP, you wipe the system, and now everything's okay. But now I started to get calls from my customers at that time where not only did they get a virus, but they got ransomware. So now they had to pay to get their information back. And when we went to the backups had ransomware. And these are people that came to my wedding. These are people that I knew. And for me now to have a sit down with them and say, I'm sorry, but your data is gone. Your business can now close because you can't operate. Mm-hmm. So things have changed and cyber threats are way up, and we had to kind of mature our business model because to give you a comparison, it's kind of like the Uber driver and the taxi cab, where if you're at an airport and for every 30 Uber drivers is that one taxi cab driver. And we were in the industry that if we stayed where we were going to be that taxi cab driver. Mm-hmm. So we pivoted, we matured our business model, we went back to school, we re-educated ourselves, kind of like what a lot of people should now be doing with AI. Because I can
we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the AI.
Yeah.
That AI thing is just crazy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So we did a rebranding, and we said, okay, we're not doing John's house for their computers. We're now doing businesses, and
but you got to come to my house.
We'll come to your house. We'll make that exception. So then from there we did cybersecurity, and that's where we are now.
Okay. Wow. And let's go into cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. Again, like you said, there's ransomware. Cities have been hijacked. Mm-hmm. Major businesses have been hijacked for millions of dollars. Yep. And these people are just out there somewhere, and they're that's their business model.
Yeah. Yeah, that's their, and we're competing against nation states, China, right. Iran, North Korea. They're getting our data, and then now they're saying if you don't pay, you're going to now, like you said, City of North Miami Beach, City of Fort Lauderdale, $1.2 million that they lost from a phishing email. And a lot of times businesses will say, oh, well, they're never going to come after me.
Right.
I always say, you're not too small to get hacked. You're just too small to make the news.
Right. And to your point, you can be a small business making couple $100,000, and someone comes in and hijacks you, and you're basically, as you said, you're out of business.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening. It's just not making the news. So and unfortunately, we're a reactive society. So until it happens to you, you don't take it seriously.
Right. What happens after you've been hijacked? And like you said, they want to be paid. And you are working to keep them from getting hijacked.
Right.
So talk about that process, and then the fact that you've been hijacked, you're basically out of gas?
Yeah, so typically from there, hopefully you have cyber insurance.
Okay.
Because then with
cyber insurance.
Yes.
Who sells cyber insurance?
You're saying the same person selling you your E&O insurance and business liability. The same insurance agent.
Okay. Cyber insurance. I didn't know. Okay.
Because believe it or not, the FBI have found that these, like you said, this is their bread and butter. These hackers, they have a call center.
Right.
And they're going to say, what message are you getting on your screen? What's your ID number? Mm-hmm. And then they're going to say, okay, the ransom is $100,000. Please pay this via Bitcoin, please, or crypto, whatever the case is. And it's an actual. You can't trace that. Nope, you can't trace it. And it's a negotiation. You may say, look, I can't pay 100, I can pay 75. Okay, let me get back to you. Let me call my boss. It's like the movie with
Statham. Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
That was, so it's that.
Yeah. They found a whole organization chart where this hacker, they have customer service, they have IT support, they have HR. It's a business. This is a real business. And while all this is happening, your customers are calling you, the phones are down, internet is down, emails are down, and they're saying, well, we have to continue our work, and then they leave you and they go to your competitor.
Wow. So, again, your company steps in to help ensure that it doesn't happen.
That is correct.
How does that happen?
Sure. So back in the days, you would just call your IT guy when you needed them, right? That's called the break fix model. Now what we do is we're proactive, and we're like an onion. So think of your house. Make sure we put a fence in front of your house. We put a dog. We put cameras. We lock the doors. We put motion sensors, and we give you a gun. So we protect your entire thing in that analogy, and it's the same concept. We protect you on the email side, the physical side on the computers where your computers lock out. We send phishing emails to your staff so that they can hopefully not click on it. We put all different technology tools, firewalls,
So actually, companies like you send phishing to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Hoping
I'm the culprit. I have opened. Yeah. and the thing about it, you're going through emails, and a lot of email is trash. And then one of them pops up like, you didn't pay this bill, or you didn't do this, and you're like, oh, let me see what that is. And that's when it all begins.
Just like terrorist attack, right? They only have to be right one time. They can try 100 times. If they're just right one time, it's havoc. So the same concept.
Wow. Yeah. So what do you recommend for a company to do?
So it starts off by having a budget. IT budget and cybersecurity budget, two different things.
Okay.
Your IT guy, your cousin who's going to FIU and he's taking some computer classes, and now all of a sudden he's helping you with your business, that's not going to cut it. You need an IT professional, cybersecurity professional like our company to help.
But again, when you say, and I heard about the fence, heard about the dog, the cameras, the motion detector, the gun. So what is the process actually? I'm opening a business. I've been in business for a couple years, and I want Andre to come protect me.
The first process that we do is we do a cybersecurity risk assessment. We put on our hacker's hat, and we try to hack into your systems.
Oh.
And we see how good your systems are, how bad your systems are, and then we say, okay, hey, this is everything we found. This is your risk. How do you want to manage that risk? And then from there, you say, you know what? Okay, let's do this. Or I don't have the budget for this. I'm willing to accept this risk. And then from there, we then do like a continuous protection. But the first thing is we need to ethically hack into your systems to then see all your vulnerabilities.
Okay. This has been great. And we didn't even get into the AI. We got like maybe a minute left. What would be your message to someone who isn't engaged with AI right now?
It's taking jobs. Coca-Cola just put out a Christmas commercial made with AI. What typically would be about 30 jobs, they were able to do with one job.
Well, and obviously I understand that since I'm an actor, and it is taking away from those jobs, voiceover jobs, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, it's a little crazy. But if someone wants to get in touch with you?
Sure. They can go to our website, arksolvers.com, and we're all over social media. So just look for my name, Reginald Andre, and ARK Solvers, ARK Solvers, and you'll find us. This
has been a great conversation. We got to bring you back because, again, I want to get deeper into the AI piece. And I'm sure people want to learn more about AI. But if you want to know more about the Miami-Dade Chamber, this is one of our great members. You can go to m-dcc.org or call us at 305-751-8648. This has been the Miami-Dade Chamber Member Connection. See you next time.